Now I need you guys to listen very, very closely because what I'm about to say is very true, it's very raw. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. The upcoming 2023 recession is going to do one of two things to you. It's going to break you, destroy your career, and hurt you financially for years to come. Or on the other end, it's going to absolutely create a clear path of wealth, a clear path to riches, and financial freedom for many, many years. Now I could sit here for hours and hours and hours and explain to you guys how you can make money during a recession using any type of market. Housing markets, crypto markets, stock markets, even starting up a business during a recession and how you can be successful doing so. There's plenty of videos, talking about that on YouTube, so I don't feel the need to, but if you guys do absolutely want me to cover those topics in a future video, just let me know and I will simply create that video for you guys as soon as I can. However, in today's video, I want to go over how you can make thousands, if not millions of dollars trading Forex during a recession. You got to understand that trading during a recession, trading during COVID, trading during any time the world is going through trauma, it's not the same as trading it during a regular year. I do feel like that's obvious, but I want to go over the exact points, give you guys 8 different tips on how you can trade during a recession and how you can rack up lots of money during 2023 when everything starts to collapse. Okay, and this is tip number 1. Do not be fooled. There will be bears, but there will also be bulls. The market is not just going to continuously drop, because if that was the case, we would easily be able to just short the market and make millions of dollars by just holding. That's not how it's going to go down. The markets are still going to have bullish days. You're still going to have bullish moves. Overall, yes, the prices may be dropping, and yes, it's very smart to have a large sized account that's just shorting the markets during a recession. However, that's not smart for a day-to-day basis. A lot of what I do is not swing trading. I day trade, I scalp. I have to be able to actually analyze the markets each day from a fresh standpoint because yesterday's markets are not today's markets, and I have to understand that. Tip number 2 is the markets will shift way more frequently, way more aggressive, and fundamental news will become way more important. A lot of you guys know that I like to trade based off of just technical analysis. I don't really like to sit there and, look at the news and little events that aren't really going to move the market anyways, unless it's a big news program where I know, hey, okay, this is probably going to really affect NASDAQ. I'm probably not going to trade today, or I'm going to be very careful when I do trade. However, during a recession, you're going to have a lot more frequent news that comes out, and any small news event may affect the markets a lot more than it would. It's going to be a lot different in that sense as well. So checking fundamentals, keeping up with the news, keeping your TV on the news, seeing what's going on in the US is going to be very important, very vital, so you don't take losses that you shouldn't be taking. Tip number 3, choose pairs that are not traded by everybody as often as pairs that are. Now, what I mean by that is GBP-JPY is one of the most traded pairs in the world. 99% of traders, when they first start, they're trading Euro USD and they're trading GBP-JPY. It's just the way it is. Now, the reason that you don't want to trade a pair like GBP-JPY, I'm going to get into NASDAQ as well, because NASDAQ I love. I will always trade NASDAQ, but that's more stock based. I'm trading NASDAQ through any recession, but I'm not going to be trading GBP-JPY. Now, the reason for this being is the more people who trade a certain pair, the more manipulated that market is going to be. So if you have 85% of traders trading GBP-JPY and let's say 75% of them are buying, you're most likely going to see short positions coming in. Just because we're in a recession doesn't mean you're only going to see a declining market. You're going to also see the banks still taking advantage of everybody that they can. You guys see it every day. Banks and the higher ups take advantage of people during a recession. That's why I find it best that if we're in crisis, don't trade pairs that are directly related to the US or pairs that are traded very strongly by people in the US. So just because GBP-JPY is not US related, not the US dollar, it's still traded by everyone in the US. Therefore, it's going to be manipulated to hurt the US traders. Always remember that. Now, tip number 4 is very obvious. I've pretty much said this since day one, but it's still very important and more important than ever right now as the markets are starting to get a little bit crazy. Risk 1 to 3% per trade. Stick to that plan. Never change that philosophy, and always stick to your trading plan as well. There's no sense of risking more because you took a few losses, and there's no sense in changing your trading plan just because you took a few losses. A couple losses doesn't mean that your trading plan's broken. Just as if risking 10% is not very smart because you've already lost 10% of your account and you want that percent back. It's not smart. You should never do it, and especially not during a recession where prices are already moving crazy. It's not smart, guys. Stick to 1 to 3% and never change that philosophy. Number 5, shorting the market can definitely be a key factor in success, but you have to do so carefully. We talk about this a little bit in tip number 1, but I want to kind of reiterate to you guys what I mean by that. yes, shorting the market is going to make you a lot of money because the markets are collapsing. Now, when I say shorting the market, I'm not talking about GBP JPY. I'm speaking on gold, and I'm speaking on NASDAQ. Okay, US based commodities. I'm not talking about GBP JPY, because just because GBP JPY is going down, it doesn't mean anything, because that's just GBP going down really against the yen. It has nothing to do with the actual value of anything in the US. Okay, so NASDAQ, US 30, and gold is what I'm referring to here. I recommend that you have an account ready. Have an account ready to short that. Short the market. Use leverage and allow the markets to drop. Don't risk a lot. You shouldn't be risking a lot. You should risk very little, and having that account in the background while you trade a main Forex account, which is day-to-day based. You're going to be day trading, scalping, a regular account, but having a big, fat, juicy account on the side that is shorting all the markets as everything is going to shit. Very important. You can make a lot of money while everyone else is losing. You're going to actually be shorting the markets and making so much money throughout any recession, any collapse of any market. It doesn't matter what it's for. COVID, for example. When COVID happened, I shorted NASDAQ, made so much money, and then bought on the way back up. The amount of money that you can make based off of market collapses, shorting and longing, is absolutely insane. Be smart, and you guys can make a lot of money. Now, tip number 6 goes into tip number 5 a little bit more in depth, but basically for tip number 6, have reserves ready, because NASDAQ is going to be at a discount after the market has already came down so damn much, and you have a beautiful discounted price. Make sure you have reserves ready to buy. Me personally, I'm going to have close to $500,000 in reserves just based for buying NASDAQ. I plan on putting $500,000 into NASDAQ when it drops, and hopefully seeing my money double, triple, quadruple, who knows how far it'll drop, and potentially catch all of that move back up to the top just because I had reserves ready. Now, you might not have $500,000 in reserves ready, but as much as you can have in reserves is going to be very important. This is not just going to be for NASDAQ. This could be for real estate, just the regular stock market, crypto. You should have reserves ready for this recession. It's very important. I want you guys to take a look back at what happened during any recession, during COVID, any type of collapse. What always happens? Price always finds its way back up to the top. Not only does price find its way back up to the top, but typically it breaks those all-time highs and continues up. So if price starts at $14,000 on NASDAQ, and we see price drop down to 6, you buy a shit ton of NASDAQ, I can guarantee you 10, 15 years from now, price is going to be way higher than 14,000, which means you got yourself a discount. So always have reserves ready. Again, it's not just for Forex, it's not just for NASDAQ, but just for the recession in general, you should have reserves ready. Now, tip number 7, something you guys probably don't want to hear, but I do have to say it. Be careful who you trust. Forex brokers, crypto brokers, it doesn't matter what it is, during recessions are sketchy, very sketchy. During a recession, people are going through crisis. People are losing money. So can you imagine if you get on a broker, an untrustworthy broker, mind you, put in $10,000, make $10,000, go to withdraw your 20 grand or whatever the case may be, and the broker says no, and they ban you, and they keep your 20K. It's not a good feeling. You don't want to go through that. Just be very careful during a recession. People are sketchy. People are just disrespectful, and people just don't care about anything but themselves. And that's naturally. So imagine during a recession, it gets even worse. Now, for tip number 8, don't come in with a get rich fast mentality. I'm not saying you can't get rich fast, because it's been done. I've seen people get rich fast from trading. It can happen. But you should never come in with that mentality expecting it to happen. It's very unlikely that it will. Come in, risk 1 to 3% per trade. Okay, follow the patterns in the markets. Have a short position locked on NASDAQ during the recession, and make some funds and grow slowly and be happy with where you are. But don't come in there thinking you're going to put 10K into a short position on NASDAQ and just wait with leverage and just relax and see what happens. And maybe in a couple days you'll check and it's at $6.7 million, because that's not going to happen. You're going to break your own heart and you're going to lose money. So do not come in with a get rich fast mentality. Just keep in mind, you can get rich quick. It's just very unlikely. Now, if you guys got any knowledge out of that and you guys want to see more videos on the 2023 recession, whether it's real estate, whether it's just everything mixed and combined, please let me know and I will go ahead and get that out for you guys. I am not shy. I will do anything you guys want that is financial related and that can help you guys out. So I do a lot of real estate. Okay, I do a lot with crypto, I do a lot with stocks, and I have made so much money doing all of them, especially real estate. Maybe not so much with like crypto and stocks. Like I've made okay money, but with real estate, I have made a lot. Online businesses, I have made a lot. So if you guys do want any tips or tricks on that, and we don't have to just stick to Forex on the channel, let me know. We can get that going as well. Follow my Instagram at MambaFx Trading, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.